Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Today is our order of business of December 7th, 2020. This is an electronically held special meeting of the Dearborn Heights City Council virtual meeting. Madam Clerk, would you please take roll call?
Dave Abdallah.
Here.
Bill Bazzi.
Here.
Oh, wait a minute. I'm sorry. Council Secretary reminded me, Mr. Dave Abdallah, we need to state where you're located in the state, the city and the state.
Dave Abdallah, Dearborn Heights, Michigan.
Okay, Bill Bazzi.
Here, Dearborn Heights, Michigan.
Robert Constant.
Here, Dearborn Heights, Michigan.
Denise Malinowski Maxwell.
Pinckney, Michigan.
Ray Muscat.
Here, Dearborn Heights, Michigan.
And Tom Wenzel.
Here, the great city of Dearborn Heights, Michigan.
Madam Chair, you have a quorum.
Thank you. First, I'd like to have Councilman Wenzel lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge
Pledge
allegiance
allegiance to the flag
of
of the United States of America
America,
and to the
the
republic
republic
for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Everyone, please be seated. First item on the agenda is our closed session. This is due to pending litigation. So right now I have a motion for Dearborn Heights City Council to hold a closed session on December 7th, 2020, whereas Mayor Daniel Pleco filed.
Madam Chair,
Yeah.
Chair, we need to approve the agenda first.
Okay.
Okay, yep.
This time, I'd like to approve the agenda.
Motion to approve.
Motion to approve.
Bill Bazzi.
Support.
Bazzi, motion, supported by
Support.
Councilman Muscat. Is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? The ayes have it. Sorry about that. Yeah, this is such an, we got so many things missing on us. Next, we have our closed session. This is a motion for Dearborn Heights City Council to hold closed session on December 7th, 2020, whereas Mayor Daniel Pleco filed a lawsuit against the Dearborn Heights City Council on September 24th, 2020. The lawsuit is 20-012-532-CZ. And whereas this litigation is related to the prior litigation handled by the firm of Schenck Bruch PLC, formerly Untitled Chapter and Schenck PLC, and whereas attorney Matthew Schenck sent a privileged and confidential communication to council members on Wednesday, December 2nd, 2020. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Dearborn Heights City Council hereby approves entering a closed session pursuant to Section 8H of the Michigan Open Meetings Act to consider material exempt from disclosure under existing statute, namely the attorney-client communication from Mr. Schenck dated December 2nd, 2020, related to Mayor Pleco's lawsuit against the City Council.
Support.
I need a motion.
I move that we go into closed session.
Support.
By Councilman Muscat, supported by Councilman Bazzi. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Can we do a roll call?
I'm
Uh-oh,
gonna
No, it was
do a roll
unanimous.
call at
Yes,
this
you
time.
still need a roll call for a closed
Yes.
session.
thank you.
Right, I'm going to do that. Okay, at this time, Councilman Muscat,
Yes.
Councilman Constant,
Yes.
Councilman Bazzi,
Yes.
Councilwoman Malinowski Maxwell, yes. Councilman Abdullah,
Yes.
Councilman Wenzel.
Yes.
Okay, at this time, we will be going into closed session. We will be removing everybody and we will be putting them in a waiting room and we will bring you back as soon as we are done.
I'm gonna put it for. We're gonna put them all in the waiting room now.
Everybody goes in the waiting room except for the council members.
I'm gonna see if I can do that.
And the attorney.
Yes.
Ray, I know who I'm going to leave in here. Okay.
Attorney has to camp.
I'm trying to, okay? Put in waiting room, right? I'll start from the bottom.
Okay, then I'll go up a level so we don't because there's a lot of people in here already.
Going down.
I'm trying to be careful that I don't hit the wrong button and put them out for good. That wouldn't be good.
I'm just doing put in waiting room, so put in waiting room.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We are now back in our open meeting. Next item on the agenda is 11A under ordinances. and
Council Chair, the mayor's trying to get in.
Councilman, please don't interrupt in the future
I'm sorry, but he was waving frantically.
in the meeting, isn't he? Councilman, we're starting our meeting. Okay.
I was
ahead.
not waving.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were waving.
Thank you, but I was not. I do want to speak on 11A, but I'll wait till there's a motion and a support.
Okay, thank you. Okay, at this time, we have under ordinances and resolutions 11A. This is Council Chairwoman Melanowski Maxwell. This is a resolution of the Dearborn Heights City Council related to litigation filed by Mayor Daniel Paletko. Do I get a
Council-
motion?
Council Chair,
Councilman Muscat.
I don't have that in front of me, so I don't know how to make the motion. Other than since you wrote it, you may want to make the motion yourself.
I'll make the motion if you want, Chair.
Go ahead, Councilman Bazey.
Okay. I move the council to approve resolution of the city Dearborn Heights Council related to litigation filed by Mayor Dan Paletko as outlined in 11A.
Support.
I'm sorry, where's the support again?
I support.
Support by Councilman Muscat. Is there any discussion?
Madam Chair,
Mayor, go ahead, please.
yeah, I'd just like to make a brief statement. I was forced to file my lawsuit to stop the council chair and the city council majority from doing even more damage to the city and its reputation. At this time, I can see no alternative but litigation to stop you from continuing to engage in a pattern of misconduct that violates the Open Meetings Act, the city charter, and the Michigan Constitution. Still, at some point, I hope that more reasonable and cooler heads will prevail on the city council. At that point, I hope that we will be able to talk things out, as I've always tried to do with all of you. For this reason, I must bring to your attention and to the public's attention one thing that I doubt the public knows about, and I doubt most of you know about. I made a settlement proposal to resolve last year's litigation way before the Court of Appeals had made its ruling. Yet it appears to me that the council chair and Mr. Schenk decided amongst themselves to hide the settlement proposal from most of you and from the public, since there was never a closed meeting conducted by the city council to discuss this proposal. And this is part of the reason I had to file this lawsuit. You have regularly let the council chair and Mr. Schenk make decisions for you as a city council that you can only make as a body at public meetings. This has and continues to violate the law, and I cannot in good conscience permit such illegal acts to happen as long as I am mayor of this great city. Thank you.
Mr. Schenk, would you like to reply to that?
Just to reply, since there was an allegation that there was an Open Meetings Act violation, that is not the case. Settlement proposal was presented to all council members. Nobody decided to bring that settlement proposal forward for a vote. And there's no obligation to vote on something if not one person wants to recommend it.
Thank you. Next, we have Councilman Constant.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'd be interested in hearing Council Matthew Schenk's opinion on this, but I think instead of adopting the whole resolution, because there's some findings here, particularly regarding the scope of representation, an amendment to an existing engagement letter, and then the language about filing a grievance with the Attorney Grievance Commission. That's, I don't know that that is something that we really even need to vote on. The attorney has a duty, if they feel there's a violation of the code of ethics, to file the grievance, and it can't be threatened to gain advantage in a civil action, but to just a resolution hiring the law firm of Schenck and Bruchette to defend us in this action, and also to tender the defense or offer the defense to the MMRMA, like I say, through the representative. It's the agent who was Mike Meldigan, who, as I understand it, retired.
Councilman Abdullah.
Council Chair, personally, I'm a little concerned about going right off the bat and full all out with Schenck and I'm probably going to pronounce it wrong, Brutzich. And I probably killed it. I apologize. My concern is this. Personally, I'd rather go with the MMRMA because we have representation from them and it would be for free. Now, there had been some concerns about them not willing at this particular point to represent us. With that being the case, I'd like to have that delved into a little bit further. And until we get an official answer, and I don't know if I could discuss, can we discuss how we got the answer or no? Okay. I'll leave it at until we get an official answer in writing with them turning us down. I'd like to go with Schenck MB, I'm sorry, for just this one session only. And then after that, I'd like to have something official come in from MMRMA because that's who represents us. That's who represents us for free. And then go from there. Now, there's another thing that I'm concerned about. If we hire the Schenck law firm, it's going to cost us a lot more than $25,000 that we are being sued for. With that being the case, and I'm just thinking out loud here, if we were to go with MMRMA, and let's say we don't get as good of representation, hypothetically, it still would cost us nothing. And at the worst case scenario, it would cost us the $25,000 fee that would go, that the mayor is suing for, versus paying to the Schenck law firm a lot more money. I'm not an attorney. It's just my personal opinion. Thank you.
Mr. Schenck would like to reply to that.
Just so the council's clear, the request in the lawsuit would exceed over $150,000 if the mayor were granted everything that he is seeking in terms of invoices that he's seeking payment on. We don't have a full amount because they're seeking payment on invoices that have yet to even be submitted to them. But the amount at issue is significant in terms of it being over $150,000.
But the invoices would be a whole separate issue. What he's actually suing the city council for specifically $25,000 plus paying those invoices. Those invoices can still end up being paid whether you're representing us or MMRMA is representing us. Either way, they're probably going to be paid. But the actual lawsuit is for $25,000. And I just have a concern, and I'm just being blunt, a possible bias from your firm. I've gotten the vibe, obviously, that at least you're pro some council members. I'll leave it at that. With that being the case, I'm not sure if we're going to get totally objective representation. Same way that some council members have felt true, not true, right or not right. The council Gary Miyake might have possibly a biased opinion, and I also see that possibility also. So that's where I would like personally to see if we could change this resolution to have this one time until we get an official answer from the people that are supposed to represent us and for free.
That's all I'm saying.
Just to clarify, I do believe we discussed the fact that Mr. Schenck could be paid by the MMRMA if they approve him. So that is a possibility anyways, that he would be paid by them. We just discussed that.
Then if that's the case, then we could have approval of this subject to MMRMA, I hate how many letters they've got in this thing, would be able to pay Council Matthew Shank's law firm, or if not, on a condition, if they do not pay, that we pay him for that one session, because it's rightfully so his right to be paid for that one session. I'm hoping and praying that by that point, we'd have an official answer from MMRMA. Thank you.
Yeah, Michigan
Councilman Muscat.
Municipal Risk Association.
I know, but got 8
All right,
letters.
guys, point of order. Councilman Muscat?
Problem is, Councilman Abdullah and all the other council people, this emergency meeting is on Wednesday.
Right.
We're not gonna get anything from MMRA before Wednesday. Okay, this is the big problem. And I don't want to be left without an attorney. And this is not just about the $25,000. This is all the other hard work that we've done to uncover things in the city that we feel is wrong. Okay, and I'm not going to give that up. I don't want to give that up. So we leave ourselves without an attorney, and everything else goes bye-bye. So,
But that's why, Madam Chair,
Councilman Abdullah?
but that's why Councilman Muscat, with due respect, that's why I said, no matter what, the council, Matthew Shank, would be paid for the one time. By that point, we're hoping to have an answer, or we can make it until such point that we have an answer from MMRMA. I would not expect anybody to work for free, which is precisely the reason why I said, in all likelihood, we're talking about the $25,000, because some of the attorneys that did the work, and I'm not the final decision maker on this. I mean, obviously, we'll see how that plays out. But because they did a lot of the work while we were on council, still allowing it to go on, I'm talking about the other attorneys that were involved. They more than likely, I'm not an attorney, are going to probably end up getting paid anyways. Whether it's with, we deal with Council Matthew Shank, or we deal with MMRMA, because they did the work, like people, for example, the sub firms that are part of Gary Miyotki's circle of attorneys, they're probably going to end up getting paid anyway. So that's why I'm saying I personally don't see it at as $150,000 lawsuit.
correct.
Okay, thank you. Do we have any other comments before we take a vote on this? Okay, we are voting on ordinances and resolutions 11A. This is our resolution of the Dearborn Heights City Council related to litigation filed by Mayor Daniel Paleco. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed?
No.
No,
Okay, let's take a roll call. We have Councilman Muscat,
Yes.
Councilman Constant,
no,
Councilman Bazey,
Yes.
Malinowski Maxwell, yes. Councilman Abdullah,
No.
Councilman Wenzel,
Yes.
resolution passes. At this time, we will open it up to comments from the council members. Do any council members have any comments? Okay, I'd like to make it the public aware. We are going through our regular city council meeting right now. We will end this and then we will come back and it will be a study session. And that's where we will do the interviews for the appointment for city council replacement. Just so everybody doesn't leave. And when we end the meeting, we're ending that meeting, but then we will immediately start a new meeting. I don't want to lose anybody because they get confused. I just want to make sure everybody knows what's going on.
Madam Chair,
Councilman Abdullah?
just out of curiosity, for the interviews for the potential council member that will be appointed, why is that in a closed meeting? I'm just curious.
Not enclosed, it's a study session.
Study session. Okay, so it'll be open.
We don't do it during a regular meeting. We have to do it during a
Makes sense.
study
Okay.
session.
I just wanted to get a clarification. Thank you.
And we got.
So it will
Councilman
be, it
Wenzel.
will be open to the public, correct?
Yes, oh,
Madam
yeah.
Chair,
Okay, we got Councilman Wenzel next. Please raise your hand if you want to be acknowledged. Councilman Wenzel?
Thank you. At this time, I'd like to acknowledge and recognize December 7th as Pearl Harbor Day. All of the soldiers and sailors that lost their life in 1941. Our hats go off to them and their families. And also I'd like to acknowledge all the veterans out there today listening and in our community. God bless all of you for your service. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other council members?
Madam Chair,
Okay, can you please raise your hand? It's too hard to see who's saying it.
I
Use the
just
hand.
did several times.
Oh. Yeah, but you spoke all several times. Are you raising your hand again, Councilman Constant?
I am.
Go ahead, please.
Just for the record, again, the reason I voted no on the prior resolution was just to make sure that we turned over the lawsuit first to the Michigan Municipal Risk Association to see if there was coverage. And they do have attorneys there that do almost nothing but defend these Open Meetings Act cases. I know we got into some discussion about the lawsuit in general, and I'm not agreeing or disagreeing. It just as a threshold issue about the council retaining an attorney in this unusual, difficult, unfortunate situation.
Thank you. Any other comments from council members before I move on to public announcements? Okay, next, we're going to have public announcements. This is in regards to our community. If there's any announcements that need to be made publicly for upcoming events. I don't see any. Okay, now we will open it up to public comments. First, I have Gary Miyake. I'm trying to, oh, we've lost him. Where is he? Can somebody unmute Mr. Miyake, please?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you now. Go ahead, please. You have 3 minutes.
Gary Miyake, Plainfield Street, Dearborn Heights. I actually was going to speak at the 2-minute portion, but the council basically did not follow the agenda and did not end up allowing for public comment at item 5, which should have taken place.
You know what? You're correct. I apologize. It was just an odd meeting with nothing on there, and I forgot totally about it. So
Okay,
go
well,
ahead.
Very good. Well, then I'm going to give some remarks with regard to 11A. And what I'm saying is not meant to be for purposes of giving legal advice. And perhaps in the future, there will be some more discussion with regard to this where I am able to do so in an appropriate form, but I cannot do so now. Regardless, the resolution contains clearly false information related to me. It says that the city council was my client based on the city charter. The city council has not been my client based on the charter. The charter never made and does not make the city council my client. Moreover, the Michigan Rules of Professional Conduct never made and does not make the city council my client. As a matter of fact, Rule 1.13A of these rules makes it quite clear that the city council has never been my client, where it says, a lawyer employed or retained to represent an organization represents the organization as distinct from its directors, officers, employees, members, shareholders, or other constituents. And this rule makes it very clear that it also applies to governmental bodies. For these reasons, many of the statements in the resolution are false, and the resolution should not have been adopted where it contained such false information concerning me. That's all I have to say.
Feedback. Mr. Miyake, are you in with somebody else that's on the meeting? Because we're getting feedback from 2 people that are together. It's
Well, no one else is here. It's probably just that my voice is loud and you're getting that. So sorry about that.
no problem. Okay, next we have Christine Lazalo. Can you please unmute her? Here, I'll go ahead, please.
So I just wanted to clarify, some of the council members stated that there may, or, I'm sorry, okay. Some of the council members stated that the city should send this into Murma. The city has already send to the insurance company. The insurance company is just, we're waiting for a letter. That's all I wanted as a point of clarification. Thank you.
Wait, Council Chair, it got all cut off.
Councilman
So,
Abdullah, go ahead.
Yeah,
please.
if I could hear it again.
yeah,
Yeah, you know, we're getting a lot of back feed. Are you in the city hall with somebody or somebody else that could be on here?
No, I'm at home any minute now. My birds, yep, there you go. Here.
Yeah, that's proof of that. Sorry, because we keep getting an echo. Go ahead.
No, what I was gonna state is that the city did turn this into, MRMA. And the insurance company, we are waiting for a letter to say what they will cover and what they won't. There was some discussion from certain council members that stated that they were looking for the city to do that, and that has been done already.
wait, Council Chair. Council Chair.
Yes, go ahead, please, Councilman
Can I get a-
Abdullah.
Can I get a clarification, Chrissy, I'm sorry. So you're the representative, if I'm not mistaken, and you please correct me if I'm wrong, of MMRMA on the city's behalf. So you're the city's representative to MMRMA, is that correct?
Yes, but in this,
But you're cutting off badly.
yes,
Yes.
I am. Yes, I am.
You are, okay. So were we turned down as a request to have MMRMA represent us as a city council? Were we turned down by MMRMA to have the Dearborn Heights City Council represented by them?
No, I haven't gotten any official yet. No.
Okay. Okay.
Thank you. Any other further public comment? At this time, I'd like to hear a motion to end this meeting so we can go into our study session for the interviews.
Council Chair, I move, city council adjourned.
Muscat moves to adjourn. Do I hear support?
Support.
Support by Councilman Abdullah. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Hi.
Aye.
Those opposed? The ayes have it.